All right, next thing we're gonna do is runners often have a lot of tightness and gunkiness in the front of the hips. A lot of times we get one hip tighter than the other, same with cyclists. Doing that same activity where you're constantly doing this type of motion. Plus we sit, everything gets locked right in this front region here. So we got a remedy for that. So we're gonna do a kneeling progression here. I'm gonna angle myself a little bit so you can see what's going on with my back. We're gonna start on the right knee, so we're gonna open up the right side through here. Many of you have problems in the right hip because it's your dominant side. That's completely common, something that we see a lot. So we're gonna start the first one. I'm gonna do this without weight, so doing a forward position. Again, making sure that you're not arching too much through the back, but what I do want you to do is push your hips forward, okay? Really get a nice lengthening through the arm. I'm not kind of half putting my arm up. Really get a big reach all the way up, almost like somebody was standing above you and reaching and pulling above, because that hip flexor is so tight in there. We want to work on making it nice and straight, okay? So working on a few reps. Don't worry about counting. I'd rather you focus on what you're feeling as opposed to counting. Okay, so do a few once you feel that lengthening. Then we're going to do the second direction, which is side to side. So start by kicking this hip out to the side, and you're going to get a huge stretch all the way through there, and then come back down. Stretch, back down, stretch, back down. Now, I've got this little weight through here, so some people, it may be really a big stretch with no weight. But if you're ready for more of a progression, start with a 3-pound. Some of you may be able to start with a 5-pound. So the first one would be straight up. Again, I'm not swinging it all the way behind me. For this second one here, notice, again, my arm is straight. I'm not keeping it bent. Longer lever arms, people, the longer the lever arm, the more of a stretch you're going to feel through here. And then bring this underneath. So the pelvis should be doing this, going side by side, and even doing that, boom, I get a huge stretch all the way through the front part of this hip. So down here, up and overhead through there. This one you're probably gonna feel the most, and this is where you need it the most, the side to side motion through here. Next one, it's gonna be like you're introducing somebody, right? So opening the hips, again, left hand on the left hip while you do this, so you can push the pelvis and just get a little bit more range of motion. Ugh. Ooh. This is definitely working and doing what it's supposed to. So really, you can even raise the arm to get more of a stretch through there. If that bothers your shoulder, go a little bit lower, okay? So that's the third one. We're gonna do one more for this right side. You're gonna put the weight in the opposite hand and start with kind of a downward motion here and coming across. Again, pushing the hips. I'm going to show you a side angle. Pushing the hips forward, not arching too much through the back, but just really get a nice lengthening. Those who play tennis, would be a backhand stroke, right? Being able to reach, and you need to get that explosiveness through the hips to get some power behind your shot. For those runners, this is what happens in running, right? Opposite arm, opposite leg. So you get a nice load through your abdominal muscles. Unwind them as you go through there, okay? Great job. You're gonna do the same exact thing, repeat through the other side.